Good morning, all of you. Myself, Prachi from BSc Chemistry Honors Final Year. My topic is hormones. The definition of hormone has been expanded over the last several decades. Hormones secreted by glands such as adrenal, ovaries, parathyroid, pituitary, testes, and thyroid were originally considered to represent all the physiological relevant hormones. Today, the term hormone refers to any substance in an organic that carries a signal to generate some sort of alteration at the cellular level. Thus, endocrine hormone represent a class of hormone that arise in one tissue and travel a considerable distance through the circulation to reach a target cell expressing cognate receptor. Paracrine hormone arise from a cell and traverse a relatively small distance to interact with their cognate receptor on another neighboring cell. Autocrine hormones are produced by the cell that function as the target for that hormone. Neighboring cells may also be targets. Thus, we can classify hormones on the basis of their action. Often, endocrine hormones that traverse long distance to their target cell may be more stable than the autocrine hormones that exert their effect over very short distance. A diverse array of hormones, each with a distinctive mechanism of action and properties of biosynthesis, storage, secretion, transport, and metabolism, has involved to provide homeostatic responses. Hormone secretion. Endocrine hormones are secreted directly into the bloodstream. Exocrine hormones are secreted directly into a duct. Cascade system of hormones. For many hormonal systems in higher animals, the signal pathway originates with the brain and culminate with the ultimate target cell. The signal may be transmitted as an electrical pulse or as a chemical signal or both. In many cases, but not all, such signal forwarded to the limbic system and subsequently to the hypothalamus, the pituitary, or the other gland that secrete the final hormone. This hormone then affects various target cells to a degree that frequently proportional to the number of cognate receptor. Classification of hormone. Hormone can be classified according to chemical structure, mechanism of hormone action. Classification based on chemical structure. Hormones are usually classified into three main groups on the basis of their chemical structure as follows: peptide or protein hormone, amine hormone or amino acid derivative, steroid hormone. Peptide or protein hormone. Most hormones fall into this class. These are water soluble and may have 3 to over 200 amino acid residue. For example, hormones of hypothalamus and pituitary, as well as insulin or glucagon of the pancreas, their hormonal synthesis or ribosomes in the form of longer processed protein, then packed into secretory vesicles and proteolytically cleaved to form the active peptide. Insulin is a very small protein with two polypeptide chains A and B joined by two disulfide bonds. It is synthesized in the pancreas as an inactive signal chain processor. Pre-proinsulin with the amino terminal signal sequence that direct its passage into secretory vesicles. Proteolyte removal of the signal sequence and formation of three disulfide bonds produce proinsulin, which is stored in secretory granules membrane vesicle filled with the protein synthesized in the endoplasmic reticulum in pancreatic cell. When the blood glucose is elevated sufficiently to trigger insulin secretion, proinsulin is converted to active insulin by specific proteins which cleavage two peptide bond to form the mature insulin molecule and C-peptide, which are released into the blood by exocytosis as shown in figure. Second, amino acid derivatives. These are the small water-soluble compound containing amino group, for example, adenine of the adrenal medulla, thyroid hormones. Catecholamine hormone that water-soluble compound, epinephrine and norepinephrine and catecholamine named for the structurally related compound catechol. They are synthesized from the tyrosine. Catecholamine produced in the brain and other neural tissue functioning as neurotransmitter, but epinephrine and norepinephrine are also hormones synthesized and secreted by the adrenal gland. Like the peptide hormone, catecholamine are highly concentrated in secretory vesicles and released by exocytosis, and they act through surface receptor to generate intracellular second messenger. They mediate a wide variety of physiological responses to acute stress. The thyroid hormone T4 thyroxine and T3 tri- triiodothyronine are synthesized from the processor protein thyroglobulin. Up to 20 TRs reduces residue in thyroglobulin are enzymatically iodinated in the thyroid gland. Then 2-iodotyrosine residue condense to form the precursor to thyroxine. When needed, thyroxine is released by proteolysis. Condensation of monoiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine produce T3, which is also an active hormone released by proteolysis. Steroid hormone. These are the fat-soluble, lipophilic, and all are derivative of cholesterol. For example, adrenal cortical hormone, androgen, estrogen. Steroid hormone. The steroid hormones are synthesized from the cholesterol in several endocrine tissue. They travel to their target cell through the bloodstream, bound to carrier protein. More than the 50 corticosteroid hormone are produced in the adrenal cortex by reaction that remove the side chain from the D-ring of the cholesterol and introduce oxygen to form ketone and hydroxy group. Many of these reactions involve cytochrome P45, P450 enzymes. The corticosteroids are of channel T2 type defined by their action. Glucocorticoids primarily affect the metabolism of carbohydrate. Mineralocorticoids regulate the concentration of electrolytes in the blood. Androgens such as testosterone and estrogens are synthesized in the testes and ovaries. They affect sexual development and sexual behavior and a variety of other reproductive and non-reproductive functions. Thank you.